What's going on, everybody? Evening. It's almost here. International break is, well, let's just call it finished. And that drab load of garbage that we've been watching all week is finished now. It's back to business and big business. I'm joined by Mate. Mate, how's it over there, mate? How's it up there in the northeast, pal? Is it as exciting as it is down here in Manchester, dare I say?
It's not the best leg, is it? We're up there in the tiers, in the bad tier category. And the worst thing is, mate, it's just obviously not being able to go to games in it. I mean, how much I'd be looking forward to this game if I could think I could go to
Oh,
St.
mate.
James's Park on Saturday night, have a few beers during the day. The spirits that would be in the ground, like cracking on with you lot, like it's just devastating. Like life as we know it is just pretty crap at the minute, to be fair. But
Mate,
could be
it's
worse, I
that, innit?
suppose.
I mean, if they could ever get away with putting a United Newcastle game at 8 o'clock, it's in the middle of a lockdown, isn't it, mate? Let's be honest. I mean,
Aye,
God, it had to be our first game pay per view, didn't it? The
aye,
only
did.
game they could have stuck it on the Scousers, couldn't they? Early doors, you know what I mean? But no, they have to stick it with us, don't they? Keeping it up north. But no, man. I mean, we talk about lockdown, mate. We've all had a tough one, but before we get into what's going to happen this weekend, I just wanted to ask you, Matty, mate. I mean, your lockdown was probably more, I would say, as fans, Newcastle fans, with the whole Saudi takeover breakdown and everything, your lockdown was pretty, well, it was exciting and not exciting in that way. But I mean, how's the feeling around Newcastle after it all fell through now? I mean, everyone that I heard was getting their hopes up for it.
Oh, it was devastating. It was a huge blow once it fell through because that was literally the only thing that was carrying us geordies through lockdown was the thought of having a football club back after it, having some ambition, and for it to take that long and then for it to end, it was just heartbreaking because we all know how terrible of an owner Mike Ashley is. You know, doesn't spend money, doesn't care about the club, happy to finish 17th every year, and then all of a sudden we had these Saudis come in who were going to make us the richest club in the world, totally eclipsing Manchester City, Paris Saint-Germain, all of that, hundreds of billions, not even just the football side of things. They were going to look after the city. They were going to invest 200 million into the local economy, schools, hospitals, everything. And for that to fall through and then be stuck where we are, it's, like I say, it's just heartbreaking.
That's it, mate. That's it. I mean, but I thought you guys. I don't know from what it looked like from a United side of it, or from an opposing fan. I always like to get other opposite fans' opinions on how our club actually looks from the outside. But from the outside, you guys probably had one of your better summers in terms of transfers and recruitment. I think Brucey did all right, really, with what he's got. How is it there? Are the fans quite happy with what you've brought in the summer?
Aye, we really are. We're really pleased with the transfer window, surprisingly. I mean, it's took we long enough to finally get a goal scorer in Callum Wilson, someone who knows how to poach goals, a natural goal scorer, gets on the end of crosses. Obviously, bringing in his pal from Bournemouth helped Ryan Fraser, who assists him all the
Yeah,
time. Julian Duncan now playing his preferred position on the left instead of being that target man, that number 9 that we know he's not. And Jamal Lewis, another young, exciting British left back, Northern Ireland
true.
international. We've made some really good signings. So the only problem is that Steve Bruce is still in charge. Like I know he's a Man United legend and all that as a player, but as a manager, he's not good enough, mate. It's Brucey ball, dinosaur football. It's awful. But apart from
You
that,
know what? I was
good
just
signings.
about to come on to that next, mate. To be honest, I was saying, like you said, then, mate. Bruce is an absolute ledge for us. I'm glad he hasn't been near us as a manager because, like you said, then it does look a little bit one-dimensional. But to be honest, he did all right last season. And you look at the table, mate. I mean, uh, I know you guys loved Benitez when he was there, but I mean, Brucey did probably just as good, if not better, in terms of on paper. But it's like you said, I think we have the similar sort of issue, mate, in terms of style of play. There's a certain way you expect your team to play. And I totally get where you're coming from with the Steve Bruce and not actually being, well, it's like you said, you want to go out, have a few drinks and be excited and entertained at the end of the week, don't you? And sometimes, even if the results are coming in, it just doesn't look, it's just not right, is it?
Uh,
And I totally get that, even though, like I said, Bruce is a complete legend. Uh, I don't know. He's probably, I'd take him right now as a player at our club the way we're going, which takes us into the game. I mean, to be honest, how you actually, how would you assess your start of the season, mate? Really, I mean, it's not been horrendous again, but then again, you get that big shocking result, don't you? But
Aye.
everyone's got them so far.
I think having no fans has got to play a part in all these mad results. Like Hughes conceding 6, City conceding 5. Liverpool conceding 7. I don't think that happens if the grounds are
Mental.
full and the players are on the back and stuff. But you're right, Newcastle have always got that slip up. We are the unpredictables. We used to be the entertainers. Now we're the unpredictables. 1 week,
Yeah.
we're bossed West Ham away. Next week, we're embarrassed at home by Brighton. And not being funny, Brighton actually looked like a good side this year. To be fair, playing some good stuff, as you know, that a good game against Hughes. But and
Yeah,
then
true.
we snatch a draw at Spurs, and then we easily beat Burnley at home. So we've been up and down. 7 points, good return. To be fair, probably what you'd expect. So we're looking good enough. Thankfully, hopefully it won't be a total relegation battle again this year. We should be safer. Try and have a good cup run. We're in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. Brentford as well. So great chance to get the semi. So season so far has been pretty decent, mate, to be honest. But it's like you say, the quality of football's not exactly pretty, but the results are decent enough.
Yeah, do you reckon Bruce can turn it around style-wise? I mean, like you said, results are in there, but I mean, is there any way with the players that he's got now, or are you just not having the manager at all on that?
Nah, because it's literally the plan is hoping that St. Maximin, who's obviously our creative outlet, give him the ball and hopefully
Yeah.
he can win the game. That's all Brucey's plan ever is. Or if Andy Carroll's playing, lumping up to him. It's awful, mate. It's absolutely awful. But I haven't got faith in Bruce at all because you mentioned Rafa. I think if Rafa had this quality of players of Almiron, St. Maximin, Callum Wilson, we could really be a threat. Brucey just doesn't get the best out of them. But saying that, St. Maximin said that Bruce has been a really good figure to him this week when he signed his new contract. So he's obviously got a good man management. It's just Bruce, you said it yourself. He doesn't do tactics. And how much does that worry you? Do you know what I mean in this day and age?
Mate, you're looking at someone. You're looking at a load of United fans. I'm sure you've heard it from a few. Tactics is a big issue that we've got at the moment because we don't seem to have any at all. And you mentioned two players there, and I would go Andy Carroll up against Lindelof or Maguire. I'm scared, and I go Saint Maximum against anyone of our fullbacks. I'm petrified. So looking ahead to the game, I think you know what. United have always been favourites whenever we played Newcastle, but right now, you know what, the way we're playing, you've got to be hopeful for this weekend. I mean, last season you beat us. I think first time Steve Bruce had won with anyone against Man United, it had to be us, didn't it? It had to be Newcastle and then beat us. But looking ahead now, mate, I think you guys must be looking at it going, you know what, there's a serious opportunity here because from the outside it must look as bad as it does on the inside with us, mate. Surely.
It does, mate. Just to see how far Man United fell is unbelievable, to be honest. I mean, that's 6-1 against Spurs. And we've seen other freak results. I mean, we've seen an even worse one on the same day, didn't we? After you lot,
Yeah.
Liverpool,
I
Villa.
couldn't believe it, mate. I couldn't even get excited about that after what we went through.
But for seeing where Man United are now, I mean, we got the 1-0 last year. Let's hope Matty Longstaff's fit again this weekend because he loves scoring against you lot. He did it at Old Trafford as well. I mean, he's went on to win, so it didn't matter for us. But Matty's got an influence there. I think we're gonna have a free hit at it. Like you say, Man United will always be favourites against Newcastle, have been in the past, still on now. But this is the best chance we've ever had. I think I said it last year as well, and we did go and win 1-0. I said it in my preview last year. I said this is the worst Man United team I've seen and the best chance we've got. And you have improved in terms of Bruno Fernandes and that, but I still think Newcastle have got to go all guns blazing and try and get something out of this game. Just don't be fearful, don't be negative. We're at home. Let's go for it. And look, we mentioned the Brighton game earlier. The amount of chances they had, they push you for a good game. As long as we do that, I'll be happy with like an entertaining 2-2. I just don't want to see negative football. But it is a great chance for us to get a result after the back of your beat off Spurs. You've got the Champions League next week. You've got Ollie under pressure. It won't be a much better time to play Man United.
No, it's not at all. I mean, Mary there has come in and said no excuses. Mary's a regular on my channel. She's hardcore to the core in terms of the comments. So yeah, anything but a win will do for United. According to her, I mean, I'm looking at it at the moment. I'm thinking we're just going to have to try and solidify in some way. Because as you said there, you've got Matty Longstaff to come back. I'm looking at it going, when I look at it on paper, you've got the Fraser, Wilson, Sam Maximum, you've got John Joe there, Lord Voldemort behind them, and you've got Halmiron. You know what I mean? You're talking Matty Longstaff coming in there who always has a game against United, and I'm thinking, you know what? Even Newcastle got more options than us right now because we got no Martial. Cavani can't play yet. And I'm looking at it going, right, who's going to play up front? Who are Newcastle even going to fear in our forward line right now? Because, you talked about Bruno there, and it was like you said. Then it's like give the ball to San Maximo under Bruce tactics, and let's hope he wins us the game. I think without Bruno, mate, I think we'd be bottom half of the table right now.
Mm. I've seen that. If we beat you, like I know that you've obviously played a game less, but if we beat you on Saturday night, mate, you'll be 7 points behind us. And if that's not pressure on Ollie, then I don't know what is. Because it's mad.
You want to see the games after it. I think we got PSG after you, then Chelsea, then RB Leipzig.
So the pressure.
Oh no,
so there's pressure on to get a result for Ollie on Saturday night, isn't it? Because not being funny, mate. Yeah. Coming against Mbappe and that next week isn't going to look too clever.
He is under serious pressure now. We're getting to that stage now as United fans. We know from previous managers, he's creeping up to that 2-year period now where it's like we know the writing's on the wall. He wasn't backed in the summer. And you know what? It just feels like we've got Pochettino on the end of the line, just waiting at the moment. That's what it feels like because he obviously didn't get the players that he wanted to get. And for me, it's like it was previously with the other managers. You guys know all about ownership and not backing managers, but I mean, if you look at it and go, if you'd have give, like you said before, Benitez, them players that Bruce has bought in this summer, then I mean, where do you think you'd actually finish if Benitez was there now, mate? In terms of the team that you've got now,
I think maybe top 6 at a push. Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably 7th, 8th, realistically. But you got to think Rafa got us to 10th, and he had Hosselu up front, which was Stoke's 5th choice striker at the time. So we hadn't signed a player or spent money in about 2 years when Rafa was there. He got with 10th place. Yeah. So God knows, mate. You'd hope for a mad Europa League push, but with the likes of Everton and that around, I couldn't see it. So probably about 8th, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you get excited when you talk at it like that, but then you look at other teams in the league, and like you said, Everton there, it's like big test for them this weekend against Liverpool, obviously. But I mean, you're thinking, oh yeah, we could maybe even creep into the Europa League places, but then there's a load of good teams, and Spurs has got a new lease of life as well now. But I just look at us and I go, it just looks like the players don't want to play for our manager. It's as simple as that right now. And you said it then, pressure's mounting big time on Ollie for this one. He cannot afford to get beat in this game against Newcastle. He really can't, because like I said, the game's coming up. And 7 points behind Newcastle. We've got Chelsea after that. Then we've got Everton and Arsenal also coming up. Wow. Scary time before the next international break. I mean, you could look at it, and a lot of United fans are looking at it now going, well, by the time the next internationals come around, will he even be in a job? That's how desperate it is for us at the moment. But I mean, if there is a manager out there now for Newcastle, if you're not liking Bruce, who would you go for?
Ooh, for Newcastle. Well, you mentioned Pochettino for Man United. That's who the Saudis apparently wanted for Newcastle. Yeah, that would be an absolute dream, wouldn't it? He's never going to come and work on Mike Ashley on this budget. For Newcastle, it's a tough one. I'd probably look at. I don't know. It's a sticky one for Newcastle because before, what Eddie Howe did at Bournemouth until last year was a great job, and I've always said, young English manager, give him some money. But then again, he wasted a bit of money, didn't he? And Bournemouth was always going to go down. You took them as far as you could go with them. Yeah. So realistically, probably the way going to make Ashley. But he did play good football though. So and Wilson's there. So maybe like an Eddie Howe or Nagelsmann from Germany. Someone like that. I don't know. I'll just bring Rafa back, mate. But under Ashley, it's not going to happen. You'll keep Bruce because Bruce will probably finish. I would say the relegation zone. And that's all Mike actually cares about. So I don't think Steve Bruce is going anywhere.
No, not right now. Not with the start you've had as well, mate. I mean, points are everything, aren't they? It's performance is out the window at the moment for nearly every single club. It's all about keeping their head above water. And like with everything going on in the world, and obviously all the funding and everything that's supposed to be going on, then in another couple of months the transfer window opens again, and Steve Bruce gets more money, mate. And then you will be seething, knowing that Rafa didn't get all this, and we're in a pandemic, and Bruce gets this much money. It's crazy.
I just seen that comment there.
Yeah.
Saying Allegri, someone said in the comments, that's dreamland, that like for us, Allegri. There's no chance he's coming to a mid-table Premiership club. Everything he's won.
Yeah,
you should be getting him.
I think you'd be all right.
Definitely. If he had a project and plenty of money, that would sway him. But I don't think he's want when it comes to us at the minute, but you should be after someone like Allegri, definitely.
I mean, this is the thing. It's like United fans would come up now and say, look, Allegri's sort of seen as one of them Van Gaal style European defensive managers. Do we want that? But we've gone for the experience. We've gone for the serial winner. We've gone for the homegrown, well, not homegrown, but club legend. We're running out of options of how to title our managers, mate, because it's just not working. There's maybe, I don't know, maybe a full on coach rather than a manager is what we need right now, because we know it's going to be low budget and we need someone who can improve players. And right now, I'm looking at all the signings that Ollie made, and they're all getting worse. And that's how we look at the decline in a lot of them signings, because they were decent for us. They were decent for us when we first started, but the drop off has been frightening, absolutely frightening. But we just don't know.
Same with our defence,
mate. We really don't know.
Yeah, just saying with our defence, like Rafa is drilled into us clean sheets every week. Like, because to be fair, he's pretty negative as well. But what he done for Jamal Lascelles and Fernandes and Shaw, and then they look a shadow of themselves under Steve Bruce. They really do.
Yeah, and you'd have thought as well, big centre half, Bruce. It would have been right up his street, wouldn't it? That's we were thinking, with Ollie though, attacking football, our strikers are all going to be brilliant again. We did all right last year, but I just don't understand the drop off. It's a mentality issue. Whatever it is, it's just not working. And it's like you said, people will keep backing these players. All the fans have the favourites, but at the end of the day, when they're not doing it on the pitch, you have to criticise them. You have to say, look, why is this not working again? Yeah, you had one good season, but where's the consistency? And we'd look like a million miles away from that. I mean, like I said before, mate, going into the game, I mean, have you got a team in mind that you know is going to be rocking up against United? Is it pretty straightforward, you guys, now? Do you know who's playing, or is it a bit of a mix now, Bruce?
He kind of sticks to it. He just switches one or two of them around. So you'll have Darlow in goal, second choice keeper, because our number one, Dubravka, is injured until Christmas. But he's done well, really well. Darlow stepped in and done well.
Dubravka's a really good goalkeeper from what I've seen. I remember watching against us.
He had a class debut for us against Hughes a couple of years ago.
I remember
and
that.
Then Jamal Lewis is meant to be fit, which is good. You know, young, exciting left back there, Northern Ireland national. He was linked with Liverpool, so I don't have a clue how we ended up playing them. And then in the middle, you've got Shelvey. Shelvey on his day is brilliant. You know, one of the best passers in the game. But
especially against United, he'd be loving it, wouldn't he, against United?
And then obviously we all know St. Maximin's our danger man. You know, he's just signing a new contract. Everything comes through him. His trickery. Now he's edited his end product, making them with goals and assists. Almiron the same. Miguel Almiron's jumped on leaps and bounds in that number 10 role. And then Callum Wilson, like I said, you know, we've got a number 9 there now, a proper goal scorer. And you've got Ryan Fraser as well. He's pal from Bournemouth who can chip in with the cross. So we've got some good options there. You've got Jordan on there. He's doing better week by week. We can even bring on Andy Carroll off the bench. You know, he would cause problems if, especially Maguire's playing. You'd fancy his chances against him or anyone really.
You said it there, mate. Yeah, the option there of having like the wingers now, like in St. Maximin and Fraser, plays perfect for someone like Carroll. It's ideal for him, really. Now, I mean, like I said, if the Wilson option's not there, you've got the target man with the wingers, and it's just that's what we're missing now. We ain't got an out and out winger now. We've got like strikers playing on the wing. So this is where we're like looking at it. We're looking this weekend going, I ain't got a clue. I think he's just going to put Rashford up front when really probably should be playing Greenwood, because he's probably our best centre forward, natural centre forward. Every United fan who's a United fan knows that Rashford was a winger. He was always a winger. And I think all he's got in his head that he is this super striker. And I think that's where his head's been lost in games, and his positional sense has been completely out. But I could not tell you our team at all. I got no idea, mate. I think I could probably put a safe bet down on De Gea being in goal and Rashford being up front. And then it's take your pick, mate. It really is, because I don't know. He's going to go Fred McTominay, Matic, Pogba, Van der Beek, Bruno. I mean, normally you'd be sat there going, if I'm rolling them names off, bloody hell, we've got a tough game coming up here. But the fact that you guys feel confident says it all for us. Mentioning them names and not being able to get the best out of them is a serious issue that we've got.
Because that's my worry because you still think of those players like Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, what an impact he had from January. Greenwood, natural finisher. We've seen it at Old Trafford. I think he got the winner for Hughes when we went 2-0 up and we blew it. Boxing Day or New Year's last year. But there's always that threat. Man United are always going to have those class players in there, but they just don't seem to be ticking at the minute for whatever reason. I thought Van der Beek, great player, but he's not even getting a game, is he? He's coming off the odd bench appearance. I think he could be the difference if he plays on the weekend. I would definitely start Van der Beek. I've seen the highlights before for his country. Netherlands, he scored last night. But like you say, that the formation, the players, they just don't seem to be quite clicking at the minute. So I think that's why we're confident.
Yeah, man, it's weird. It is really weird. I remember when this fixture used to be the game of the game of the season back in the day. It used to be brilliant when we used to be able to just nick an Andy Cole off you, you know what I mean? Flog you, Keith Gillespie, but no, mate, just like it's total change now. This, you know what it feels like? It feels like a mid-table clash this weekend. That's what it feels like. It's got that whole vibe around it. Like, you know what? This is a big game normally, and I think we put it on pay-per-view literally just to see what Newcastle can do to United, and then the reaction we're going to get from Ollie. I think that's what it's built up as. I really do, because there's massive games this weekend, and for this one to be moved to an 8 o'clock, I think everyone's expecting Newcastle to make a bit of a well, not so much shock. I wouldn't be shocked if we lost to Newcastle, but I think the press and the media all want this train of Ollie and negativity around United to carry on. But it just feels like if there was a chance for Newcastle to really tear into United this weekend, is it? Because I've never seen defence as bad at United in all my years, mate. It's been, I mean, I can't even describe the defending against Tottenham. It was off the scale, stupid. But then again, you guys have seen it. You've had Benitez there, the absolute rock. I mean, I don't think we ever got a tune out of Benitez for United. He was always a thorn in our side. But I mean, score predictions for this weekend. What are you thinking? I mean, I know you were hopeful for a certain result, but if you're thinking with your proper sensible cap on, what are you going with this weekend, Matter?
I think you're right. Just quickly about the box office thing, they're hoping for that Patrice Evra, Gary Neville reaction, like on with that 8 o'clock kickoff, like you said. And let's hope we get it, and let's hope that because they'll be wanting to spin that into midnight, the whole Ollie out debate. Let's hope it is a good game though. Like I said before, I'd take an entertaining 2-2. I think it will be, because hopefully it'll be wide open. It just depends on how Brucey plays it, because Brucey's known to just shit yourself against the top six, play five at the back, and just we've seen it Spurs away. Kind of understandable when you're away, but we're at home here against a struggling Man United side. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Nothing to fear. We're doing all right in the league. Just go for it. Just try and score some goals. Be the attacking side. Don't just sit back, because we'll let you have possession, but we'll hopefully hit you on the counter. Optimistically, I'll say 2-1 Newcastle. Realistically, maybe 1-1, but I'll back the boys to get 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, interesting what Daniel. Cheers for the super chat, Daniel, mate. He's saying there, mate. I mean, from the outside again, it's always worth seeing it from opposite fans, and he reckons that this is the best Newcastle have looked in years. I mean, you said yourself there you love Benitez and everything like that, and you're not a big Brucey fan, but in terms of the team, the threat, and the system and the options you've got, is this? I mean, this could be like the best I've seen Newcastle in a very, very long time, mate.
Definitely, mate. It is because of the attacking outlet, because we've struggled for goals for quite a few years because we've never invested in that front three. But now we've got St. Maximin, we've got Almiron, and we've got, most importantly, Callum Wilson, proven Premier League goal scorer. We need to keep him fit. He scored 4 and 4 already this season. He's always there at the front post, beating his man on the end of crosses. He's a great, great finisher. He's pushing to get back into the England side for the Euros next year. Got stiff competition, obviously, with the likes of Calvert-Lewin and even Danny Ings, but he's doing his best. He'll be dead up for this, because he'll be thinking Saturday night, Man United, my chance to impress. He's impressed already so far. St. Maximin, like we said, he's absolutely magic. He's saying a new deal. He'll be flying. He'll be full of confidence. He got a couple of goals and assists against Burnley in the last game. So it is the best we've looked in years, because we haven't had those creative options since the likes of Ben Arthur and Demba Ba and stuff like 2012. So with easily the last 5-6 years, the best we've looked.
Was that when Phil Jones scored that own goal at St James's Park that game? I remember that one as well.
3-0 it was, wasn't it? Cold December night, I think it was.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah. Oh God, it's painful. But I mean, like you said, you'd say it was the right time for Newcastle to beat United. But mate, you had some really good results against us recently, so
Mm.
it's kind of in the norm now, really, mate, isn't it? I mean, I looked at that there was that 3-0. I think when Moyes was in, you beat us at Old Trafford.
Hmm.
I mean, last season was horrendous. The season before that, I think we beat you 2-0 with Lukaku and Rashford.
Aye.
But then the season before that, you beat us again. I think it was Matty Ritchie, I think. But
Yeah, it was
so
the
I mean, last 3 times we played you at St James's, I think it's 2-1 to you in terms of results, mate. So there's nothing for you guys to really fear with this United team going forward. Like you said, the names are there, but it's not looking like in anywhere near cohesion at the moment in our team. So I would say this. I mean, before we finish up on it, but your best memory of United Newcastle game, mate. What is your favourite? I mean, I don't know if was you old enough for the Felipe Albert? How old was you then?
I was only 4 years old, so I've
Oh,
seen
so
the
yeah, so
videos.
we can forget about that one. Forget that one.
uh,
I remember it
I've
well.
seen I've seen the videos, mate. Unfortunately the most I remember of Newcastle. I remember you beat with 6-2 at home at St James's Park when Scholes was amazing. Scholes and Van Nistelrooy. Oh, we just had to applaud you that day. We went 1-0 up. We got beat 6-2. There was a
Yeah,
4-3. We beat us 4-3 at St James's Laurent Robert. That was amazing. That was amazing. I remember going to Cardiff as well, the Millennium Stadium for the semi-final of the FA Cup, and he was embarrassed with then as well. I think it was 5-1 or something, 4-1. But
yeah.
the best one, I'd say, do you know what it is? No, it's class. We actually got beat, but Old Trafford as well when Mourinho was there, and we went 2-0 up. But you came back and won 3-2. The video
Yeah.
that I put out the other day, actually 2 years ago, the fan cam that went viral with your pal, the squeaky one. That was it. That was a
Paul,
that was hi Paul.
Paul.
That was a class day. So there's always memorable results against Man United. So he has hoping for another one on Saturday night.
Yeah, speaking of Paul, I had him back on Sunday actually on the podcast. First time he'd been on in a while, and it was just like if you had a bleep machine, you probably wouldn't have heard any conversation because it was just off. He was going from first minute to end. But I remember that. I remember that game well because I remember him going up. He was on the fan cams with us, doing exactly the same thing, going mental. And then he went over to you guys and just completely carried it on to a point where it was just like, Paul, it's time to go home and get a Lemsip, mate, or something, because your voice has completely left you, mate. But
It
no,
was
they were
amazing.
good
That like
times. They were good times. I'm going to go, in terms of result, I think United need a result that bad. I think we may actually scrape a 2-1 win. I just don't see how we get it. That's the only problem. I can't see a system that's going to work. I'm hoping to be surprised. As crazy and as sad as that sounds, that's where we're at the moment with it. It's like I'm just looking for someone to come out there and surprise me. But then again, that's like a lot of United fans are saying at the moment. It's just like we are waiting for someone to just do something magic to win us a game, rather than a style or a system that's going to win us a game. That's where we're at the moment. So I've
similar to us,
just
mate. It really is with Saint Maximin.
yeah.
It's so similar to us. I think for you, I think I'm just fearing like Van der Beek or Greenwood. That's what I'm. I think one of those players is the one that's going to make the difference. It'll be Van der Beek or Greenwood for you, or Saint Maximin or Wilson for us. Those will determine the game for me, I reckon, on Saturday.
Yeah, someone's got to turn up. They really are. I mean, in terms of the actual outlook of your season, mate. I mean, where you expecting to finish? How's it looking? What you thinking at the moment?
I said
I
an
suppose it comes
optimistic.
down with the fitness again, doesn't it? With your players, like you said, Wilson and that. Really.
Exactly, yeah, because we're only a couple of injuries away from another crisis, to be honest. Because if Wilson gets injured, Gale's injured, who's not that great anyway. Carroll's injury prone, so we'll lose the out and out striker. If Wilson goes or Saint Maximin or Shelby get injured, then there's no one to provide the service for Wilson. So the starting 11 is very good, but the bench isn't too great. Apart from maybe Andy Carroll or one of the long staffs, it's like it's not a great squad depth. So optimistically, I'd say 11th, 12th. Well, I'd say about 11th, 12th, to be honest, either way. No, it shouldn't be any lower than 14th. I think I'd a good push 10th, but I think we'll finish about 11th, 12th. And then, like I say, beat Brentford in the quarter final of the League Cup semi final. Who knows from there?
That's it, mate. You know what? You might have even been getting to Wembley and we can't go, mate. Sad as it
Yeah,
is.
sickening. We haven't been to Wembley. We haven't even been to New Wembley from Spurs, obviously, in the league.
Pretty much guaranteed to get to one of the cups now and get to Wembley this season when you can't go, aren't you? Knowing your luck, the way
yeah, mate. Geordie's will protest that. We'll be standing outside Wembley if it's a chance to go to Wembley. We'll be there. We'll be there. Like, we can't stop us going down there. It's been too long.
That's it, mate. You'll get on the what's the name? What you get on the Wembley way? Get the pictures, protest, do whatever you got to do there when the Geordies turn up. But no, mate, I feel for you. I really do. I mean, we've been there plenty of times over the last few years. It's just been like our sort of saviour or making us look like we're relevant. So I'm winning the odd little cup here and there, but you can't beat the Wembley days, mate. You really can't. When was the last time you boys were there at Wembley now?
2000, I think. We got beat off Chelsea Arsenal 2000 or 2001. So it's been a while. Like I say, 2005 I think it was. I went to Cardiff for the Millennium Stadium for Man United in the FA Cup semis. We got battered that year. That wasn't good. Like, but I'd love to get myself to Wembley, have a chance. It's just the hope in it. Like you say, it's just the day. If you get there and you just have like a daft feeling, like, we're going to do it the day, even if we're coming up against Liverpool or City, Chelsea, anyone really.
Mate, 100%. That's what I miss. It's like because my son goes everywhere with me, home and away, and that Wembley day was always the good one because you're booking either a night stay, you're parking or whatever, and then the build up, the drive down, mixing with whatever fans are driving down the M6 at the same time. And I still remember it all kicking off with Everton fans in the semi-final a few years ago because we had segregated service stations for the fans, so it didn't all kick off, but. They got it wrong, and it did go off. So it was, oh god, little things like that. I know they don't sound good when you break it all down, but they're just like little things you remember from the days out, the away days, because you boys travel far, no matter which away ground you're at there. So that one down to Wembley would be a proper. I'll take it. You'll be staying over and everything, won't it, on that one?
Oh, we like to make a weekend of it, like just for an excuse to go on the drink. But
that's what we're missing, mate.
But you've got to think it's like it's about a 5-6 hour drive or 3 hours on the train, so you may as well.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Before we finish, mate, I'm just going to ask you, what's it going to take for Steve Bruce to keep his job for you, mate?
Win a cup.
Win a cup, and is that it? Is that good enough?
Yeah, you get a statue if he wins a cup. No one's done it in 50 odd years. It's been 50 plus years of shit. I hate me. I mean,
forget style of football. Goes out the window.
I'll take a 1-0 scrappy Carabao Cup, mate. He could be a hero.
That's the one, mate. That's the one. Right, Matt, cheers for coming on the show, mate. Everyone, cheers for coming on. Everyone in the comments, super chats, everyone who's logged in and seen us. And Atti's gone 2-1 for Newcastle. I've gone 2-1 for United. Time's going to tell. I honestly, I've not got a clue. I'm not looking forward to it. I think, as the missus just shouts 3-1 Newcastle in the background, City fan, mate.
She knows the score. Yes.
Oh, no. Anyway, people, thanks for tuning in. Obviously, do give the video a share, like the video. I'll see you at weekends where hopefully we're talking over a United win. Not a Newcastle United, but a Man United win. But Matt, good luck. Enjoy the game at weekend, mate. Thanks for coming on, pal.
Pleasure, mate. Thanks for having us.
No worries at all. Everyone, I will see you at weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.